Hello, welcome back to another video. We started off with some digital scales and an empty cup. Reset the scales to 0 and mixing part A of epoxy resin. Then whatever part A was, I used 50% of part B. Just giving that a mix. Mix roughly for about 3 minutes, roughly. Slow as possible so you don't introduce many air bubbles. Just adding some black mica powder when that was done. I'm just giving that a mix together. This doesn't take long for this. Once that's done, I've got a coaster mould. I'm just pouring that into there now. Just topping it up. So once that was filled, just got this heat gun. Just try and get all the air bubbles out now. You need to do this every so often, so because they do keep rising. Left that for 24 hours, and that's it, all set. See, I did miss some air bubbles there, which come later on, which I missed, but it's not too bad. Right, I printed a spider face on my Cricut machine. I'm just removing that now from the tape. Just placing that on the coaster. Just try and get it centre by eye. So once I was happy with that, press that down. Just using a little tool there for get any air bubbles out. Just removing the tape. And that leaves the vinyl sticker behind. Right, just got some super glue now, just putting 2 dabs on. I'm just sticking these little googly eyes on. Make sure if you do this, make sure when you put the resin on, it's got to go higher than the eye, so the cup will sit on it. I haven't got to put these on. You could have put a sticker on, but I had them anyway, so. And I should have used resin, but I'm impatient, didn't want to wait a full day, so I just used this UV resin. Kept building it up in layers. I just managed to get the surface of the eye, so. I would like to use normal resin really, but you're talking a full day. This does work fine though, it's brilliant stuff, and it's pretty much 2 or 3 minutes. Just moving it around now to the edge. It's a lot thicker than normal resin, so you can move it around like that. Just putting UV light over it. I did this, I think it was 3 times 30 seconds each coat. And just keep building it up really. Right, got this metal coat hanger now. Just cutting it out so I can straighten it out. I want to create the legs of the spider. So just straighten it out best I can. Needed some pliers there for that. I'm just measuring it now on the desk. Did it down to 17 centimetres and just cutting that off. I'm just creating a bend in the end, which will go into the coaster. I'm making a bend now for the leg. This was just trial and error, this was just to see which looked best and that. I keep moving it around till I was happy. That was roughly it there. Did 8 of them. Just got this clear coaster now, I'm just using it for a template basically, just so I can see where I need to drill me holes for the legs. Could have done this out of a piece of card, but I had this anyway, so I'll just use this. Just marking a 4 each side. Just going over it there. Now I'm just putting it on the graph of the desk, just for do the same each side, so I can mirror each side. So I'm done. Just putting an F on there for front. Just placing it back on the coaster and just transferring that mark now to the actual spider coaster. I did this first time and the spider face wasn't facing the right way, so make sure the spider's facing the front. Now we've got a drill now, I'm just drilling the holes, so I'm doing very slowly at first and the drill slightly pointing up away from your hand at an angle, so don't put any pressure on until you know it's into that coaster in case it slips off, so just be very careful on that. I'm just trying the leg now. That's fine, that is. Just notice that it was sticking up a bit, just had to bend that down. Yeah, I was happy with that. Drilled the rest of them. It's dead easy to go through, it isn't it, at all. Right, I've got all them cut now. So what I'm doing now, I've got some heat shrink. This is for electrical cables where you can seal cables and stuff like that. So I'm just feeding that all over the leg. You could have put this on first, then bent it, but I thought I'll do it after. Just go round alright. Or you could bend the leg back again and bend it, etc. Just got this heat gun now. And what it does, once you apply heat to that heat shrink, it shrinks back to its natural size. It doesn't take long, you can see it doesn't take long at all. Plus with this, you haven't got to get it really smooth because it's a spider's leg, it's rough anyway. I thought after you could have put some hot glue on the leg or some resin, some little bits, so when you put the heat shrink on the lumps would show through. You could have done that, I thought of that after, but it's too late. So just going all the way down, it just shrinks as you heat it. You can use a flame for this as well. Maybe a hairdryer would work, I'm not sure on that. Just cover all the leg. That's it. Just pushing that back into the coaster now. Basically trial and error as well, just keep putting it in until you're happy with it and that. Notice there it was sticking up a bit, so just bent that end back down. And just trying it again. Just putting a bit of UV resin on there now. What I would say is the piece there, well, you see where I blanked it out in a minute, there, I'd bend it to an angle, because what happens is when the leg turned a bit and it actually, the metal turned inside the white coating, so it doesn't matter how good the white was stuck down, it'd still spin a bit, so I'd say turn that if you're doing it yourself. That's that. And just applying the UV light to it. So doing the rest now. I found it easy to keep the heat gun on the desk, it's a lot better. I'm just doing the rest of them now. back in. Just bending it so it matches the other one. Now if you see there, it wasn't quite all the way. So what you can do, just cut some little bits. And just go back over that corner there and just reheat it. You could do this all the way down. Just shrinks it back over because it gives it a bit more thicker effect, I suppose. You could do this on like on the joints as well, and that's it. That's covered then. So once they're all on, just put a bit of UV resin on the end, just to hold them in place. And what I'll do when they're all on, I'll go over with proper resin and leave it overnight. Then it'll all set in place. Then I'm just using a light there on all of them to hold it in place. Well, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. It turned out pretty good, really, especially with the heat shrink. Made it look a lot better than painting it, etc. But yeah, pretty pleased with it, and it's a nice little project. Any questions, please leave in the comments below. Please like and subscribe, and hit the notification button. And catch you in the next one. Thank you.